Okay, so today we're diving into a story that's, well, let's just say it's pretty relatable.
Oh, yeah. I think we've all been there at one point or another, right?
It's one of those situations where you're just like, how did I even end up here?
Yeah, like what series of events led to this moment?
Exactly. And it all starts with something so simple like just leaving your apartment, you know?
Right, like just a normal
Yeah,
day.
you're heading out the door, you've got your headphones on, you're ready to hit play on your favorite playlist,
Ready to take on the world.
but then you realize, oh, Spotify needs an update.
Ugh, the worst.
And you know it's going to be one of those things where you're halfway down the block and that little notification is just going to bug you.
Totally. And you'll be like, I should just updated it.
So you make the fateful decision to turn back.
Which seems harmless enough at the time.
Right. Inconvenience level, minimal, you think.
But here's the thing about those seemingly small decisions. Sometimes they can set off a whole chain reaction.
Like a domino effect.
Exactly. One little choice leads to the next, and before you know it, you're in a completely unexpected situation.
So our protagonist in this story heads back to their apartment key in hand, ready to conquer that Spotify update.
On a mission.
Totally. But here's where things start to get a little bit interesting. The key doesn't work.
Oh, no.
Now think about it. You're standing there, key in the lock, and it's just not budging. What's the first thought that pops into your head?
Probably something like, oh, if the lock's sticking again, or maybe my husband messed with it.
Right. You immediately start blaming external factors.
It's like our brains are wired to avoid taking responsibility in those
It's
moments.
that classic attribution bias. We always think it's something or someone else's fault.
Especially when it's something frustrating, like, seriously, why isn't this key working?
So what happens next? Our protagonist starts trying a little harder, jiggling the handle, knocking on the door, maybe even resorting to that silent doorbell.
The one that never seems to actually work.
Yeah, it's like at this point, it's almost turning into a slapstick comedy routine.
I can just picture it.
And here's where I have to ask you, the listener, at what point in this scenario would you have paused and thought, wait a minute, something's not right here?
Yeah, like when does that little voice in your head start to whisper, maybe you're at the wrong door?
Because, believe it or not, the story doesn't end there.
Oh, no.
Our protagonist, still convinced it's the lock, the key, the entire universe conspiring against them, finally looks up, and what do they see?
Tell me they don't see the wrong apartment number.
You guessed it, the wrong apartment number,
Yeah.
and not just slightly off like a different floor completely.
Oh my gosh, no way.
It's like that moment of delayed realization hits you like a ton of bricks.
And you're just standing there like, how did I not notice this before?
It's incredible how our brains can just get stuck in a loop sometimes, you know?
We get so focused on the problem at hand that we completely miss these glaring discrepancies.
Like we filter out any information that doesn't fit our initial assumptions.
We're so sure the key is the issue that we don't even bother to double check the apartment number.
And then the embarrassment sets in.
Oh yeah, that wave of cringe just washes over you.
I can only imagine, like, all because you wanted to update Spotify.
Talk about a first world problem.
It's those moments that make you realize life really is just one big sitcom sometimes.
Definitely. And you know what else it reminds us of?
What's that?
That even the smallest decisions can have these ripple effects.
Like the butterfly effect.
Exactly. You turn back to update an app and suddenly you're at the wrong apartment wondering how on earth you got there.
It's almost like a lesson in mindfulness, being aware of how those seemingly insignificant choices can shape our day.
Even if it's in a way that makes us facepalm later.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's a thought-provoking question for you to ponder. What seemingly insignificant decision did you make today that could potentially snowball into something unexpected?
Did you hit the snooze button one too many times?
Did you choose a different route to work? Did you
Oh.
order that extra shot of espresso in your latte?
Whatever it is, take a moment to consider the potential ripple effects. It might just lead to your own wrong door story.
And, hey, those always make for the best anecdotes later on.
Right? Absolutely, because sometimes the most embarrassing moments are the ones we end up laughing about the most.
So until next time, keep an eye out for those little decisions. And remember, even the most mundane choices can lead to unexpected adventures.
And maybe double check your apartment number before you start wrestling with your key.
Just a thought.
See you next time.
Bye.